Thank you, Chair. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
At the outset, I would like to thank NIS for inviting me to this annual conclave. I'm extremely happy to share my views with you regarding enhancing cooperation among BBIN countries. By a happy coincidence, I was there at the birth of BBIN. Uh, this came out of a ministerial decision taken in May 1996 that resulted in a formal decision taken at the Male summit in early 1997, and that was followed by the first meeting of the four foreign secretaries of BBIN, namely Bhutan, Bangladesh, India, and Nepal. It took place in Kathmandu in May of 1997. That meeting was supported by the Asian Development Bank. The model which we used at that time was the Mekong Delta project that was promoted by the Asian Development Bank as the ideal format for the four BBIN countries to follow. Unfortunately, the initial enthusiasm for BBIN, which in its initial formative period was known as the growth quadrangle, then ran into some difficulties. I think India had some second thoughts about it. And then there was also, we were planning to do this within the SAARC framework, which allows two or more countries to work together on specific projects. So there was also objection to the growth quadrangle by Pakistan. So this resulted in, for an extended period of time, the Asian Development Bank undertook studies and supported a framework of consultations involving the business community of the four countries. More recently, this proposal was revived, and all the four countries today now support the BBIN framework. The focus of BBIN has really zeroed in on three very specific areas: energy, connectivity, and trade and investment. I think we have seen substantial progress in the area of connectivity and energy cooperation. And I would also add trade and investment bilaterally between India and Bangladesh, and also in the case of India and Bhutan, and also India and Nepal. The challenge has been to really bring all four countries as active participants into this process. So the three key initiatives that have been taken, really, one was the Motor Vehicles Registration Act, and we got an agreement initially of all the four BBIN countries, but as is well known, Bhutan has opted not to ratify this agreement. There is discussion that we should move forward initially without Bhutan, and that perhaps Bhutan will join later. Similarly, in the case of energy cooperation, there have been discussions about trilateral cooperation involving Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and India. But the format that this has taken is that Bangladesh would like to import hydroelectric power from Bhutan and from Nepal. So the idea is to develop and design trilateral agreements between Nepal, India, and Bangladesh, and between Bhutan, India, and Bangladesh. These discussions are underway. I think we have seen substantial progress in connectivity uh, between Bangladesh and India, as I mentioned. What the challenge now is to bring Nepal and Bhutan into this framework of connectivity, both by rail as well as by road. Uh, Whereas there have been agreements in principle, the challenge today, as I see it, is implementation, particularly across the chicken's neck. We understand India has some sensitivities on grounds of security. So we need to look at ways of moving forward in the area of connectivity so that Nepal and Bhutan are more integrated with the transportation network across India into Bangladesh. I see enormous prospects for cooperation in the future. But I would say that, and I'm concluding here, and I hope we can take up some of these points in due course. We need to see the business community more proactive. One challenge is the fact that we have 4 countries with, I would say, substantial differences in terms of the size of their economies. But the whole idea here was to focus on geographical contiguity. So when we speak of India, we are really speaking of West Bengal and the Indian Northeast as the major beneficiaries of this process. So I hope in our discussions we can look at ways and means of taking these various initiatives forward. I'll stop here now. Thank you.